If you know anybody suffering from addiction, you would know that addiction is so difficult to treat and manage. And the reason for this is not due to lack of willpower on the part of the addict, but it comes down to this cyclical process that can be explained using a simple idea from mathematics known as a Markov chain. Think of a Markov chain as a journey through a series of rooms in a house. At any point where you go to next only depends on the room you're in now and not on how you got there. In the case of addiction, we can think of these rooms as different states a person is in. So imagine there are four rooms in this house on this journey of addiction recovery. The first room is active addiction, where a patient is regularly using a substance. And the second room is abstinence, where they have stopped using. And the third room is relapse, where they return to. And the fourth room is the dropout room, where they've just left treatment altogether. Using this theory of Markov chains, we can see that the doorways between these rooms aren't all the same. And that's because after a period of abstinence, the door leading back to relapse can be very large because people can be exposed to stress, old habits, and even have cravings, which have a very powerful effect to making it more likely that a person will step back into that room. And once you're in the relapse room, you're just one step away from being in active addiction and dropping out. This phenomenon also explains why addiction is such a chronic and relapsing disease, because someone can move from active addiction to abstinence and then back to active addiction and abstinence and even back to relapse and just keep cycling through all these rooms. So a lot of the times when we have people that are suffering from addiction, it's not a failure of character. It's just a feature of the illness. But doctors and researchers also understand that this is the way it works, and they take this into consideration when thinking of how to treat patients. And that's why a lot of the times we would not advise patients to just try to quit on the spot when they're suffering from an addiction. You have to try to move patients from one room into another and then try as much as possible to shrink the reasons why they go back into the previous room. For example, you can want to remove them from an environment that exposes them to substances and just try to remove as many stressors from their life as possible.